Most men give everything and receive almost nothing. They give attention, energy, and emotion until they have nothing left to give. They chase approval and mistake it for love. They mistake tolerance for connection. They think loyalty means losing themselves. If that sounds familiar, you've probably felt the quiet exhaustion of always doing more. You text first. You wait hours for a reply. You cancel your plans to make theirs work. You stay up at night analyzing mixed signals. You convince yourself that if you just give a little more, things will finally feel balanced. But deep down, you know the truth. It's not balance. It's submission. And you're tired of it. So let's be clear about what we're talking about. This isn't about being kind or showing care. It's about losing your self-respect while doing it. That's what people now call being a simp. Forget the jokes or the internet noise. At its core, it means abandoning your self-worth to gain someone else's approval. And that mindset destroys more men than rejection ever could. But here's the good news. This pattern isn't permanent. It's not your personality. It's a habit. And habits can be broken with awareness and discipline. Today, you'll learn the 4 clear signs that you've fallen into this trap, and more importantly, how to rise above it through Stoic discipline and masculine clarity. Because the goal isn't to stop caring. The goal is to care without losing control. Let's begin. Number 1, you constantly seek validation. You think that being overly nice will win affection. You shower someone with compliments. You send long messages. You praise every move they make. You hope they'll finally notice the effort. But this isn't generosity. It's negotiation. You're trying to trade approval for attention. You're saying, if I give enough, you'll finally value me. And that's where the damage begins. When your self-worth depends on external response, you give away control of your emotions. The Stoics called this slavery of the mind. You become reactive instead of grounded. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Validation is an outside event. You cannot control it, so chasing it will always make you anxious. Instead, redirect that energy inward. Ask yourself, do I value my own opinion? If not, that's where the real work starts. Start complimenting yourself for effort, not outcome. Start recognizing your progress without needing approval. When your confidence comes from within, people feel it. You no longer need to convince anyone of your worth. And ironically, that's when others start respecting you more. Because true confidence doesn't shout. It radiates calm certainty. Number 2, you always initiate and overextend. You're always the one who texts first. You plan the date. You drive across the city. You adjust your schedule. You carry the weight of connection alone. You tell yourself it's effort. You believe consistency will prove your worth. But consistency without reciprocity becomes desperation. When you chase, you lower your value. You send a message that your time, your energy, and your focus are less important than theirs. Here's the truth. People treat your time the way you treat it. If you constantly overgive, they'll never learn to give back. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Freedom means having the courage to step back. It means allowing silence to reveal truth. If you stop initiating and the relationship dies, it didn't die because of distance. It died because it was one-sided. You were the fuel, and when you stopped burning, there was nothing left to keep it alive. A Stoic man values effort, but never chases validation. He makes an invitation, not a pursuit. He observes whether energy flows both ways. He respects his time enough to stop when it doesn't. You cannot be respected if you act like your life revolves around someone else's. True confidence is rooted in detachment. You care deeply, but you never cling. That balance is power. Number 3, you fear conflict and lack boundaries. This is where many good men destroy themselves. They confuse peace with avoidance. They confuse agreement with love. They say yes when they mean no. They stay quiet when they should speak. You tell yourself you're being easygoing, but what you're really being is invisible. Because without boundaries, your presence fades. Every time you swallow your truth to avoid discomfort, you teach people that your comfort doesn't matter. Every time you let disrespect slide, you confirm that disrespect is acceptable. The Stoics believe that character is revealed in discomfort. Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In other words, you must be willing to face disagreement. You must risk being misunderstood to protect your integrity. Boundaries are not acts of aggression. They are acts of self-respect. They don't push people away. They filter who deserves to stay. When you start saying no, the wrong people leave. The right ones adapt. This is the quiet power of self-possession. So practice small boundaries daily. Don't apologize for needing space. Don't change your values to keep peace. Peace built on suppression always collapses. Peace built on truth lasts. Number 4, you prioritize others over your own life. This is the deepest trap. You give everything to someone else's world and forget your own. You adjust your goals. You neglect your hobbies. You abandon your mission. You replace purpose with pursuit. At first, it feels noble. You tell yourself it's love. You believe you're being a good partner. But slowly, you begin to disappear. The man who stops living for his own goals becomes emotionally dependent. He no longer draws strength from his core. He waits for approval to feel whole. That's not partnership. That's dependency. A Stoic man is defined by his direction. He wakes with purpose. He invests in growth. He builds discipline around his time. When you lead a meaningful life, people respect your time. When you lose yourself, they stop seeing you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Stop talking about change. Live it. Get back to your mission. Read. Train. Build. Make progress every day, even if it's small. When you start moving with purpose again, attraction returns. Not because you're chasing it, but because purpose is magnetic. You were never meant to orbit around anyone. You were meant to walk side by side with equals. A man with vision doesn't beg to be loved. He commands respect by living with intention. Breaking the cycle. Awareness is the start. If these signs sound familiar, don't drown in guilt. Recognizing them is already strength. It means you've stopped living on autopilot. You can break the pattern. Start by noticing when you overgive. Pause before reacting. Ask yourself, am I acting from strength or fear? If it's fear, breathe. Take a step back. Resist the urge to fill silence. Silence is where clarity lives. Then rebuild your routine. Spend more time on your body and mind. Lift weights. Read daily. Reflect in solitude. Discipline is how you replace dependence. When your life is full, you stop chasing fullness in others. You'll notice how your energy changes. You'll speak slower, move calmer, and carry yourself differently. That's the power of Stoic control. It's not about being cold. It's about being composed. And that composure is what every real man must master. The Stoic mindset. Remember, Stoicism is not detachment from emotion. It's detachment from reaction. You feel everything, but you decide how to act. You stay centered, no matter who enters or leaves. You stop measuring yourself by someone's attention. You measure yourself by your consistency, by how you handle discomfort, by how little you let chaos control your state of mind. That's true masculine power. It's quiet, steady, and self-contained. It doesn't need to impress. It needs to remain. When you become that kind of man, relationships stop being survival. They become choice. You stop chasing peace in others because you've built it within. That's the man women respect. That's the man other men follow. That's the man you were meant to be. If this message hit you, it means you're ready to evolve. You've outgrown the patterns that kept you small. Now it's time to rebuild with intention. Subscribe to Stoic 24. Every week, we share clear, practical lessons on self-mastery, emotional control, and masculine purpose. No fluff, no fake motivation, just truth. Comment below one change you're making today to reclaim your power. Your growth starts with awareness, but it continues with discipline. Stop chasing attention. Start building presence. Stop trying to prove your worth. Start living it. You're not broken. You've just been distracted from who you are. And when you remember your strength, you'll never beg for it again. Stay calm. Stay disciplined. Stay stoic.